Welcome to A Risk Minute, the podcast where we dive into the world of risk management and explore the challenges and solutions faced by technology companies. I'm your host, Jane Rowe, and today we have a special guest with us, Dr. Henry Wade, a risk expert. Welcome, Henry.
Thank you, Jane. It's great to be here.
Today, we're going to discuss the risks associated with the Internet of Things, IoT, in the medical field. The IoT has revolutionized healthcare, but it also brings new risks. Let's start with bodily injury. How can IoT devices pose a risk in terms of bodily injury, and what should technology companies do to mitigate this risk?
Excellent question, Jane. When IoT devices fail to operate as planned, patients can be put at risk. Technology companies need to understand their exposure to bodily injury risks due to defective design, manufacturing defects, product misuse, or failure to provide sufficient warnings. For example, imagine a scenario where a doctor prescribes a pill with a swallowable chip to verify compliance for a patient with a memory impairment. If a flaw prevents the transmitter from sending compliance data to the physician, the doctor may not receive alerts that the patient is not taking the medication. This could lead to worsened conditions and potential lawsuits. It's crucial for technology companies to prioritize product safety and design robust safeguards.
That's a sobering example, Henry. Moving on, let's discuss technology errors and omissions. How can IoT technology failures lead to economic losses? And what can companies do to protect themselves from liability claims?
Yes, technology errors and omissions can have severe consequences, Jane. If the IoT technology fails due to errors, omissions, or negligent acts, purchasers may suffer economic losses, such as lost profits or business disruptions. Let's say a health insurer offers incentives based on fitness tracker data. If an error in the tracking software overstates the number of steps, the insurer may face financial losses from providing excessive discounts. To mitigate this risk, technology companies must ensure thorough testing, quality control, and ongoing monitoring of their products to minimize the chances of such errors occurring.
Thank you for highlighting that, Henry. Now, let's talk about cyber risk. We know that hackers are increasingly targeting IoT-based medical information systems. How can technology companies protect themselves from cyber attacks and the potential fallout of data breaches?
Jane, cyber risk is a critical aspect of managing IoT risks. Thieves find protected medical information an attractive target, and businesses can suffer financial losses, business interruption, and reputational damage if data is exposed. Take the example of a company manufacturing wearable cardiac monitors. If the engineers responsible for cloud security fail to properly configure a security patch, it could create a vulnerability. If hackers gain entry, they could sell a patient's sensitive health data. To combat this, technology companies must prioritize robust cybersecurity measures, including encryption, strong access controls, regular vulnerability assessments, and employee training to prevent breaches.
Great insights, Henry. Now, let's move on to discussing solutions. What actions can technology companies take to minimize their exposure to these risks?
Certainly. There are several steps technology companies should consider to protect against IoT risks. First, evaluating and implementing appropriate quality and risk management systems is crucial. This involves rigorous testing, quality assurance processes, and continuous improvement to ensure product reliability and safety. Second, building in cybersecurity measures from the design phase and throughout the product lifecycle is essential to protect against cyber threats. Finally, evaluating company contract practices, including thorough review and negotiation of liability provisions, can help allocate risks appropriately between parties involved.
Thank you, Henry, for joining us today.